TA6 videocast, take 137. Hi everyone, and welcome to a new videocast from Alliance Leisure and TA6. This is officially episode number 1. Last week was our pilot episode, so hopefully you'll enjoy this week, and we'll see you again next week as well. Coming up on the show today, we've got Magic Trick again. Hope you enjoyed last week's. We've got our spin to win wheel. We've got some social media tips, and we've got a new feature which is Joke of the Week. In the studio, I've got with me Steve and Doris. Doris, say hi. She's social distancing, so she believes that she can't talk as well, so not understanding the government's guidelines. Steve's with us though. Steve, you okay? Yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah. Okay, Steve's saying that he's on Twitter, and he'd like to get up to 100,000 followers by next week if he can, so try and help him out. He's at SoundmanSteve, that's at SoundmanSteve, yeah, let's try and get him up to 100,000 followers. I think he's at 1 at the moment, which is his mum, so he's got a fair way to go, but fingers crossed for you, Steve. We'll do the best we can. And this is the first time, well, last week was the first time I've ever done one of these sort of video casts and vlogging, and I made a few mistakes, so this week I'm going to try and do better. First thing I need to do better is stop saying a few people pick me up on that, including myself. I think I'm up to 5 already, so I'll try and keep that down. Steve said he's going to set up a counter if I keep doing it, so hopefully we'll avoid that. Secondly, I need to introduce myself. So my name is John Lever, I'm the head of marketing at TA6, powered by Alliance Leisure Services. And thirdly, just to mention our social media channels, then you can find us around the web. Hopefully you've found us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube already. And if you haven't, depending on your preference, check out those other channels and find us and get involved. Like and comment, share this so other people can see it. And hopefully we'll have a good time for the next 10 minutes or so. So it is another lovely sunny day up in Lancashire. We've got a lot coming up in the show, but first I just thought I'd mention our industry. The government's talking about putting hundreds of billions of pounds into the UK economy at the moment, and it's interesting they talk about billions because as an industry we need billions. I see it as at least £1 billion problem. If you think about how many members we've got across our industry, there's 10.5 million gym members at clubs, leisure centres up and down the UK, each paying on average £35 a month. Now that's £1.1 billion of lost revenue over the next 3 months if we see closures out for the next 12 weeks, which is a huge problem for the industry. So I hope everyone's pulling together, supporting each other, and we can get through this as one big industry, all in it together. But there's just one group of people I think I'd just like to single out at the moment, and that's the duty managers. Poor duty managers, they've lost their leisure centres, they've locked the doors for the last time for a few weeks, and they're sat at home, and actually it's not the duty managers I feel sorry for, it's more their families. Can you imagine living with a duty manager at the moment? The kids will be confused, you know, why is daddy walking around in his dressing gown with a big bunch of keys and a walkie-talkie talking to himself? The garage has got a new sign and it's labelled the plant room, and he spends 6 hours a day in his plant room. What do they do in the plant room, by the way? Do they have a big flat screen TV in there? I don't know. But every day he's like back washing the washing machine. His wife's getting frustrated because every time she wants him to come to the dinner table, she's having to put a tannoy announcement out, Derek to the dinner table, children waiting. Having said all that, they do probably live in the safest, cleanest house on the street. He's probably pinched the buffer machine, you know, the buffer machine that you use so the kitchen floor is nice and polished, and there's wet floor signs up every time someone goes in the shower or has a bath. Checklist throughout the house, really safe house. He's checking the house every hour. In the garden at 5 o'clock he's setting up badminton for the paying players. And then the other person you have to feel sorry for is the Tesco delivery driver. He's only there to deliver the weekly shop, but before you know it, he's filled an inquiry card in. Derek's taking him around the house and signing him up to a gym membership. So yeah, just spare a thought for duty managers. They are the backbone of the industry, but they're probably feeling a little bit lost at the moment. Okay, next feature on the show, we've got a magic trick. Now, this is a magic trick I've been preparing for a while, and hopefully you like it. And it involves just a 10p piece. You can see that. Doris, can you focus? No. Yeah, there we go. So with this 10p piece, I want to make sure that you know it's the same 10p piece I'm going to use throughout. So we need a way of marking it. So I'm going to write a number on it with my pen, but I need to use, well, we need to generate a random number. So we're going to use Google's random number generator. You can see it there. So if we put in 1 to 99, so we'll pick a number between 1 and 99, we'll generate it, and that's come up with a 7. If you can see a 7 on there, that's 7, that's randomly generated. So we're going to take our pen, and across this coin, if you can see the lions on there, we're going to put a number 7 on that. Okay, so with that number 7 coin, okay, so we're going to take this coin and we're going to make it disappear. Now you think it's in this hand? It's not in that hand either. Okay, nothing on my sleeves. So at the back here we've got a Mars bar that's been sat there all the time. Unopened, see, it's a sealed Mars bar. So we're going to open the Mars bar. See there. And in the Mars bar should be a coin. And that is a number 7 coin. Ta-da! Again, rewind. Start playing it forward, see if you can spot the trick. If there is a next week's episode, I'll share, and we'll see if anyone's guessed it in the meantime. Put some comments down if you think you know how that was done. So moving on to our next feature, spin wheel. Everyone wants to win something. This week we're giving away £300 of Facebook advertising. So let's have a look who's on the wheel. So every week to get on the wheel, you just need to comment, like or share and interact with our videos. Last week there was the phrase that pays, which a couple of people put in the comments on YouTube and LinkedIn, so thank you for that. So I've just picked out 6 people who either gave us the phrase that pays or who just commented or interacted with our video. So on here we've got Ian McGregor from Les Mills, Scott Bryce from Burnley Leisure, Christopher McIntosh from Aberdeen Sports Village, Phil Holden from Rosendale Leisure Trust, Lorna Curtis from Oriam Scotland Performance Centre up there, Chloe Kinch from Pro Insights, and we'll give it a spin and we'll see who's going to win. And that is Scott Bryce from Burnley Leisure. Well done, Scott. You just won £300 of Facebook advertising. We'll get in touch, we'll sort that out for when you open again, hopefully in not too many weeks' time, and we'll get you back on your feet. Thanks to everyone for getting involved. If you want to get involved next week and be one of our 6 finalists, just need to comment, like or share below and get involved. Thank you. Okay, on to a bit more of a serious note. I just thought I'd share a quick social media tip from this week. One of the things I'm seeing a lot on social media at the moment is there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of good things out there. As an industry, we're trying to share workout videos and help each other out and help our members out to stay active, even though they can't get into facilities. But there is a lot of noise, and one of the things that's missing, and I mentioned this on a vlog I did midweek, was question marks. Too many pages are just shouting and talking at people and not actually taking the time to try and engage with the followers. So if you just use the question marks a bit more, it forces you to think about actually asking questions and getting involved in a conversation with your followers rather than just talking at them and making statements. A few ideas that you could use: ask them what they're doing at home instead of coming to your classes. What exercise are they doing? Ask the parents out there what tips they'd like to share with other parents for keeping the kids occupied. Exercise replacement tips, things that people are doing in their homes to keep active. Start a quiz, do something different, but just ask some questions. Try and create a community. Just remember, social media is meant to be social by definition. It's meant to create that conversation. So ask a question mark, and see if you can improve on your pages and your reach and your engagement. Okay. Lastly, I just thought we'd finish with the joke of the week. Again, thinking about different jokes that I'd like to do. They say humour shouldn't offend anybody, so hopefully you take this in the good spirit that it's intended. At this stage, my directors are like, what's he going to say? But the joke starts with Paddy and Murphy. They're two pilots and they're in the plane and they're coming to land at Heathrow Airport and they're flying along, and as they're coming into land, Murphy looks out and says, Paddy, I think this runway is too short for us to land on. And Murphy says, actually, I think it is, what should we do? So Paddy says, well, as we come into land, we'll put the brakes on, flaps will go up, and we'll just pray to Mary, Mother of Jesus, that we stop in time. So they're coming down, and just as they touch down, they put the brakes on, flaps go up, and they start praying. And they screech to a halt 3 inches from the end of this runway. 3 inches. And Paddy turns to Murphy and says, well, Murphy, that was the shortest runway I've ever seen. And Paddy says, yeah, but look how wide it is. Okay. Well, I think that's everything in the show today. We've done magic, we've done jokes, we've done some serious tips. Spare a thought again for our duty manager friends out there. Steve, anything else? We just need to mention on our website we've got some assets to download, some social media tips, videos, some home workout videos if you're struggling to create content for yourself. We've put a library together, so you can check out our website, allianceta6.co.uk or allianceleisure.co.uk, and you can download some free assets and ask us if you need any support or help with those. Anything else, Steve? 100,000 followers. He's trying to get his Twitter up, so that's @SoundmanSteve. And we'll see Steve next week. Thank you. Doris, thanks for your time. Keep waving. So thanks for joining me. Again, my name is John Levy from TA6. I'm available. You can find me on @JohnLevy on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. But please get involved. Leave us a comment, and hopefully we'll see you next week. See you later. Doris Brown. Doris. Oh. One word, Doris. 45.